Hello and welcome to something that is a bit different for me in the channel. If you're new here, then this is a good little introduction to the kinds of videos I make, I guess. Or if you've known me or you've been here for a while now, this is a video to help get to know why the Jurassic franchise is so important to me, I guess you can say. Or, you know, how, this is going to be like a timeline of me and the Jurassic franchise. So I'm making this to pretty much celebrate my 100 subs, which I'm incredibly grateful for, which I'm around 118 now or something, which is incredible. Great, I love it. Thank you so much. So yeah, like I said, what I'm pretty much going to do is give you a timeline of me and the Jurassic franchise, if that makes sense. So without further ado, let's get into it. As a child, I was never a kid who was really interested in dinosaurs. I knew what the staple dinosaurs were, staple for a lack of a better word. But so, you know, I knew the T-Rex, I knew Triceratops, Stegosaurus, Brachiosaurus, Brontosaurus, Spinosaurus, you know, and that was about it. That's what most kids, I guess, kind of know or have some idea about anyway. My favourite franchises as a kid though, and you know they still are today, were Star Wars and Ghostbusters. The first Jurassic film I ever watched was Jurassic Park 3, which is really not a great place to start, but oh well. And I actually really enjoyed the film, but not enough to get me into the franchise. I would have been quite young when I watched this, maybe around 8 years old I'd say. Fast forward 3 or 4 years to either 2014 or 15, can't quite remember, and Jurassic World is set to release. Did I care? Not really, but I was at a friend's house and we were looking for a movie to watch, and with the new Jurassic World movie coming out, we thought it would be a good idea to watch a Jurassic film, and we decided to watch The Lost World Jurassic Park. Now, like I said, I didn't have much knowledge on the Jurassic Park franchise, and I thought that The Lost World was the first in the series. My understanding of the story was that there's an island in the middle of nowhere that had dinosaurs that didn't go extinct. That's right, I thought the dinosaurs on Isla Sorna were the ancestors of dinosaurs that didn't get killed off during the extinction of the dinosaurs. We watched the movie, and again, I enjoyed it, but somehow I prefer JP3. Don't ask me why. Sometime in early 2016, a family member gave us a bunch of movies, and one of them was Jurassic World. I loved it. I watched it several times and absolutely loved it. The Indominus Rex, the Velociraptors, Blue, Owen, the T-Rex, all amazing. But for some reason, still didn't make me a fan of the franchise. Before Fallen Kingdom came out, I was starting to become a bit of a fan of the franchise, and I thought it would be a good idea to watch the original Jurassic Park film. Now I'll get to why I started becoming a fan of the franchise in a bit, but first I'll tell you the story of me and Jurassic Park. So I bought the DVD and I absolutely fell in love, much like the other movies. It was my favourite Jurassic film. The Brachiosaurus, the T-Rex, the Raptors, the Dilo, the music was just all so good. And how could we forget Jeff? Mwah, chef's kiss, amazing as always. So, it's 2018, I'm watching YouTube, and an ad pops up for a game, Jurassic World Evolution. I thought to myself, looks like a cool game if you're a fan of the movies. I wasn't all that interested, however. A couple months later, a video from a YouTuber that I was watching at the time put up a video for the first episode of a playthrough of Jurassic World Evolution. When I saw the ad for it, I thought it looked interesting enough that I decided to watch the video. And then the rest of the series as it came out. I had to have this game. Now for some reason, Jurassic World Evolution came out a bit later in Australia than other countries, from my knowledge, but I know that a lot of other people in other countries had the game before it had even come out in Australia. But I still remember the day I got it. At this time, I was umpiring junior basketball, and if anyone has been an umpire, you know how crappy of a job it is. It sucks. And On this particular day, up until this point, I'd only been umpiring like junior, like really young games, like under 12s and below. And it wasn't too bad because, you know, the players are still pretty, you know, they're not great, they're still learning and stuff, so the parents don't care as much. But on this particular day, I was moving up to a higher age bracket. And if I'm being honest, this kind of stressed me out. But my mum cut me a deal because I was finding any excuse I could to not go and do it. So she cut me a deal. She said if I went ahead and did it, she would buy me Jurassic World Evolution. And I pretty much said, done deal. And, you know, it was pretty convincing. I'm sure a lot of people would agree with me with that. Anyway, when I got it, I'm the type of person that plays video games maybe 2 hours at the max. You know, 3 hours at the max. I rarely go over 3 hours. Usually I only play for about 2 hours. Rarely I go over 3 hours. But in less than a day and a half, I had already completed most of the game. I just loved it that much. I could not stop playing it. I was pretty much addicted. But fast forward 2 or 3 weeks, and I had already finished the entire game. You know, I got a 5-star park on every map, and I built a 48 species island on Isla Nublar. So I'd pretty much done everything I could with the game. You know, challenge mode wasn't out at this time, there were no DLCs. After that, I didn't touch the game again until Claire's Sanctuary came out, which is, you know, like maybe 6-7 months later, so quite a long time. At that time, I thought it was a good idea to get back into the game, as I also knew there was the Secrets of Dr. Wu DLC. What I didn't know about was that there were 2 dinosaur packs, the Carnivore pack and the Cretaceous pack, I'm pretty sure it was called, which I later purchased. I started back at the game by playing through the Claire's Sanctuary DLC, which also came with an update that added terrain paints and placeable trees, so it was a pretty sizable and pretty good update. But I realized that the Claire's Sanctuary DLC was, well, shit. But I decided to play through the campaign again, and I wanted to take it a lot slower and try unlocking everything in the InGen database, which does take quite a lot of time. And again, I was absolutely loving the game. Also at this time, I had purchased all other DLC, so I was playing through the Secrets of Dr. Wu, and then I also had access to the new dinosaur species that that weren't at the game at launch, which was pretty cool. But with all this hype, for lack of better words, I forgot to talk about Fallen Kingdom. I went to watch Fallen Kingdom with some friends, and I tried looking smart by naming some of the dinosaurs in the film. Of course, my knowledge at the time wasn't all that great, and I ended up misnaming some of them. For example, I called Baryonyx Allosaurus. I was really excited for the film, but my friends were neither here nor there. I think we all decided that the movie was pretty meh, so I tried making it more interesting by cracking jokes throughout the movie. Jokes that I will not repeat because they won't land the same if I'm being honest, and some of them may not be YouTube appropriate. I think I ended up seeing Fallen Kingdom twice in cinemas and then watched it again as soon as it came out on DVD. Also, FYI, after Dominion comes out, I'm thinking of ranking all 6 films based on personal preference, so look out for that video once I've done that. But come 2019, my good friend Jordan, who some may know as Aussie Wolf, was thinking of making YouTube videos for fun, and I told him if he needed it, I'd be happy to help. And maybe to toot my own horn a bit and take credit, I was the one that came up with his channel name and the idea for his channel logo, which he designed and I think looks great. It was a bit of a collaboration when it comes to the name, but you know, I'm gonna take credit for it. After talking about this with him, I decided that I too wanted to make YouTube videos, so what I did was learn how to record on PlayStation and download Share Factory, for those that don't know, Share Factory is PlayStation's free video editing app, and I decided to make a YouTube video. On the 1st of January 2020, I uploaded a video titled Bankrupt, where I started a playthrough of Jurassic World Evolution. Now I look back at that video and think it is the worst piece of shit content that anyone has ever made. The whole series for Joey that I made was just horrible. I sounded so disinterested and apathetic. It was terrible. And this bad content creation carried on for a while until one day Jordan told me I gotta put more emotion into my videos. I didn't think he was being serious. I thought they were fine. I rewatched some of them. They were terrible and boring. I sounded really boring, which bothered me to no end. And still today, when I'm editing, I'll notice sometimes where I lack a bit of emotion, and it still bothers me. I still go, ugh, and it actually makes me mad, but not much I can do once I've, recorded the video, because, being a uni student and at the time being in my final years of high school, I didn't really have a lot of time to go back and record these videos, especially if they were during some sort of story point, so it doesn't, once I'd recorded it, it was one of those things like, oh well, it is what it is, and it's still like that to this day, which is kind of bad, but oh well. But also at this time, it's not like I didn't understand the concept of editing. I was just lazy, so what I would do is I'd record the video, render it, generate a thumbnail, and then be done with it. I didn't do any sort of cutting out bits where I wasn't talking, or making it seem a little more interesting. I just didn't do that. It was just purely out of laziness, which is not great when you're wanting to start making YouTube videos. And now I try and make it a bit more interesting and cut out the bits where nothing's really happening. And if you know Jurassic World Evolution, the first game especially, you have a lot of downtime in that game, especially when starting on a new island. There's really not a lot to do a lot of the time, because they didn't have time controls back then. But while I'm at it, I may as well wrap up this video by talking about Jurassic World Evolution 2. I still remember watching what I believe was the Summer Games Fest when they announced Jeff Goldblum and he started alluding to Jurassic World. I mean, talking about it now kind of gets me excited, and the game's already out for Christ's sake. But seeing the teaser got me so excited, seeing the Mosasaurus and the fact that it was coming out in 2021 just... Yeah, it was awesome. What more can I say? It was just awesome. It had been a while since I'd been excited for a video game like I was excited for Jurassic World Evolution 2. I kept up to date on every leak and every reveal and every theory. When they announced the release date, I was honestly hoping it was going to come out a bit later because it released when I had exams, but I made sure I planned out what I was going to do on the day that it came out. And of course, it came out on a day where I had 2 exams. That's 6 hours of the day spent doing my final exams for school, and all I could think about was a damn video game. But when I finally got to play it, I just felt content. I mean, it was finally out, and I was finally playing it. I got a bit worried. If I'm being honest, I got a bit worried because I thought that the first campaign mission was boring, but I ended up finding the others pretty fun, and I really enjoyed the Chaos Theory and Challenge mode. Overall, in my eyes, it was a great success, but of course there were a few issues that they ironed out in Update 1 and Update 2. There's still some minor adjustments that they can do, but I'm sure they'll do that in the future, I hope. But I can't wait to see where this game goes, especially with the Dominion DLC coming out. I mean, the day that I'm recording this, they just announced the Microceratus dinosaur being in the movie, so hey, that's another species to add to the list, hey. But yeah, that's it. We finally reached the end, but before I wrap up this video, there's obviously one thing I have left to do. So here I am. This is me. In all my glory, you finally know what I look like. The face reveal, as it was, I guess you can say. I can do a lot of hand gestures like Jeff Goldblum, really get the hands in there. But yeah. So, finally did it. Finally done the face reveal. Finally done with that video too. This took me a whole day to make, pretty much. I spent, yeah, what was pretty much all my day making this, because what you just saw I recorded in the morning is now 9:30 at night, and I'm recording this face reveal bit. But yeah, this has been a fun video to make. I spent a lot of time on this, so I really hope you enjoy. Yeah, as for the face stuff, the webcam stuff, you know, obviously I don't have a great webcam, so I don't know how often I'm gonna do face cam. Probably when I feel like it, you know. If I want to do a stream where I have face cam, I'll do a stream where I have face cam. If I want to do a speed build where, you know, when I'm going over what I've done, I have a face cam, you know. Just, we'll see where we go. Something like PlayStation videos, anything like that, I won't have face cam for, because I do have a camera for it, but you know, because you need it for the VR and you can use it as a face cam type thing, but that's also not great. I can't really be bothered setting that back up, so I'm not going to worry about that. But yeah, I'm going to end it here. As you can tell, the mic still doesn't have a stand yet. I'm still holding it, but oh well, what can you do? But thank you all so much for watching. I do really hope you enjoyed. I certainly did. This was a fun video. I wrote a script and I spent a lot of time editing that, as I keep saying. Also, something I forgot to say. That build that you saw in the background was purely just for this video. That's not going to be a series made out of that one. Like I said, I want to take a little bit of a break from park building until Prehistoric Kingdom comes out. I am going to do videos on Jurassic World Evolution 2, but they're going to be a few tier list videos, stuff like that. And then we've got Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga coming out, which I'll be streaming. That's over on PlayStation though, so like I said, there's going to be no face cam for that, and they're probably just, yeah, they're all going to be live streamed. So yeah, as I was saying, thank you all so much for watching. I do really hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao!